All right, students, getting ready to show you a couple new machines here. This is our brand new, never been used yet, Radial Arm Saw. Does basically the same thing that the miter saw will do, okay? It'll do a lot more, but for what we're using it for is cross-cutting. Taking a long board and cutting it up into our rough length. Our rough length, and then a finished panel can be cut on this machine. You know, I think up to 24 inches squaring ends. So that's the Radial Arm Saw. You've already seen videos on the miter saw, the table saw, the joiner, right? I've also shown you the planer, and today we'll do the surface sander. So miter saw here real quick. All right, I'm going to put this on my head, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. All right, we always start with our piece up tight to the fence. Very important, never loose, tight. I've got my pencil marks drawn out. Here's the plan. Plan says, plan of procedure says make the 6 panels first, right? So I've got 2 panels here. I've got the 2 biggest ones, the top and bottom. Now I'm ready to make the back. Okay, 12 by 18. So as you can see, I've got this laid out 12 by 18 and numbered the back. You would also figure the board feet of the board. So width times length divided by 144 would give you your board feet. Okay, let's go ahead and make a cut here. All right, so on-off switch. Some things you need to know about this machine besides keeping it tight is you use your left hand to hold it, your right hand to draw it through and make your cut. You only come out an inch past your wood. You don't need to come all the way out, okay? That's just exposing you to blade. Just come far enough to make your cut. Looks like this. We turn it on. Hold my part steady. Make my cut. Just far enough to make the cut, and I return it. Turn it off. Get rid of my scrap. Okay, and next cut. Did you notice I took off an inch? A lot of times there's checks and splits, cracks in the end. That looks pretty good. Okay, here we go. I'll make 2 more cuts real quick here and we'll go to the next machine. You never cross your arms on this machine. That puts your arm in the path of the blade. Okay, so left hand holds, right hand pulls it through. Finger 6 inches, just like our other machines. Went out a little far that time, didn't I? Just an inch past is fine. Got carried away. So that's enough material to make my back wider than 4. So what do we have to do? We have to take it to the table saw, right? We have to rip it to 4 inches or less, between 4 and 5 inches, okay? So we would rip those, then we'd take it over to the joiner. Joint the edges, I-O, then we're ready to glue it up, right? We've done all of that before. Well, I want to take these 2 panels over and surface sand them. We've already planed them with the surface planer. We left them as thick as possible. Now we're going to sand them smooth. Students, you may not use the planer or the surface sander without me being right here with you. If you make a mistake on setting up the thickness of the machine, you could damage the machine. So I have to be here to help you operate the planer and the surface sander. You can't operate it without me, even if you pass the test. Okay, I have to be here. So I've already measured this. with our dial calipers, if you can see that, 8.2, 8.3, that ought to be close enough. I've got our machine set up at about 7/8, 8.75 would be right there, if you could see that. All right, ready to sand. Want to not have your fingers underneath on either one of these machines because you can get pinched. You want to hold it like this. It'll sand it and bring it through. We catch it on the back side. Okay. Roughest side up. It only sands on the top side. Now I'm going to take off a half a turn. Oops, went the wrong way. I want to close it. So counterclockwise. I will operate the machine. You just bring me to your board. One board at a time. See where it's getting nice and smooth. We got a ways to go though. We want to leave these as thick as we can, but we got to get them smooth. Take off another half a turn. So each time I take off a half turn. Full turn would be max. I flip it. I don't want to go past 0.5. on the amps. Okay. This is saving us a lot of hand sanding. Another half a turn. I'll go 3/4. Full turn is max, right? Trying to hurry it up a little bit. That's hitting pretty good. Still not over 50. I think I said 0.5 earlier, but that's 50 amps right there. So students, we just keep doing that. We flip it, roughest side up each time until we've got it perfectly smooth. Then the next step will be cutting it to finish size. And then we'll route our edges if that's what it calls for, and we can put graphics on it. All right, I'm gonna end it there. Turn off my machine. Turn off my system over here, my vent system, dust collector. All right, and it's a wrap.